Hello everyone, this is the D-Man here. Well, I guess pretty much everyone watched the Academy Awards Sunday night, hosted by Chris Rock. And I just want to say, well, Chris Rock did his thing as usual. He was a phenomenal host. Unfortunately, only 34 million people watched the Academy Awards, at least in America, I'm guessing. But sad though that said it was like the least watched Academy Awards in 8 years. But I think the reason why it was so low because there weren't any minorities that were recognized, at least in the acting category. I mean, the only person of color who actually won something, I guess, was probably Mr. Inarritu, the director who won for Birdman last year. He won back-to-back Oscars for directing, so he's the first person. Well, I think he's the third director, I think, to actually win back-to-back Oscars in directing. So that's a feat within itself. However, aside from that, though, we still need to work on diversity. I mean, and I hate to say it, that's pretty much my thought to ponder. You know, now that the Oscars are over, what do we do now? Okay, what do we do now? Well, I'd like to say thank you for everyone who checked out my pre-Oscar afterthought. Thank you for that. The thing I'm trying to figure out is what do we do now? Because it's been, well, for example, it's been 30 years. It'll be 30 years ago in March. 30 years ago, this upcoming March, The Color Purple had 11 nominations and lost every single one of them. All of them. And I talked about it earlier. The reason why I didn't have it up, my thought to ponder, of the night of the Oscars was because I don't know what happened. The stupid SD card basically erased itself for some reason. I had some good man on the street type of questions of people who came to see the play at the Grand Opera House. What color is your brother? And it was really wonderful. It was really beautiful, and I had to. For some reason, it didn't want to act right. The camera acted right. The SD card didn't. It didn't want to act right, and for some reason, I had some editing problems. And I just want to say to the young guy, Mr. McDuffie, I thank you for your input, and I hope you continue to do well in what you're doing. Hope you continue to do well in school, whether you're in high school or college. I forgot to ask you how old you were, but I hope you continue to do well. You seem to be a brilliant, intelligent young man, and I hope you best of luck in your future and in all your future endeavors. But what do we do now? What do African Americans and other minorities who feel slighted, who feel snubbed in the past Academy Awards? I don't know. Hopefully that is something that can be solved very quickly. Hopefully something that will be solved by next year's Oscars. I hope we do. I hope it can be solved. Because it's not a new subject. Unfortunately, it's not a new subject. I mean, of course we have racism in America, and ever since President Obama's been in office, many bigots have been coming out of the woodwork, have become emboldened to show how prejudiced they really are. Male and female, rich or poor. Many of them. As a matter of fact, even Eddie Murphy talked about the lack of diversity in the Oscars even back in the 80s, back in 1988. That's true. Back when you had films like Moonstruck and I think The Last Emperor were nominated for Best Picture.
Hi, I'm Eddie Murphy. Before I even go into this, let's have a big round of applause for all the winners tonight, huh? Yeah. And the losers tonight, too, because, yes, to the losers. I know how it feels to be a loser. I know you've got your tux on and you feel real stupid right now. For the losers, you got to make them feel good. At first, when they came to me and they said they wanted me to present the award for Best Picture, my manager came and they told me that the Academy had picked me, and my first reaction was to say, no, I ain't going. And I said, my manager said, but why? Like a white manager said, I talk. But why? And I said, I'm not going because they haven't recognized black people in the motion picture. He said, what are you talking about? Black people won Oscars. I said, well, black actors and actresses that won Oscars throughout 60 years was like, I think Hattie McDaniels won the first one, then Sidney Poitier won one, and Lou Gossett won one. And I'll probably never win an Oscar for saying this, but hey, what the hey, I gotta say it. Actually, I might not be in any trouble because the way it's been going is about every 20 years we get one, so we ain't due for about 2004, so by that time it's all blown over. I said I wasn't going, and my man said, you just have to go, you can't snub the Academy. So I came down here to give the award. I said, but I just feel that we have to be recognized as a people. I just want you to know I'm going to give this award, but black people will not ride the caboose of society, and we will not bring up the rear anymore, and I want you to recognize us. He said, well, fine, it's done. I said, now, when do I have to be there? He said, well, you don't have to get there till about 9 or 10 because it's the last award of the evening. So...
There you have it. Eddie Murphy said it nearly 30 years ago. So it's not a new thing. I mean, Chris Rock said it best. I mean, the Oscars is like sorority races. Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it's not like, dead in your face, burn a cross in your front lawn, birth of a nation style races, but, it's there. It's definitely there. I mean, why we still haven't, it's weird that we still haven't had a woman of color, not just black, but any woman of color, not any non-white actress to win Best Actress since Halle Berry. It's not new. And what's really ironic about it, I knew for some strange reason when people talked about when Denzel won that year, Denzel and Halle won that year, people seem to forget that year before Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was nominated, and the movie Traffic was nominated, that Steven Soderbergh movie. Ang Lee, who by the way became the first person of color to win the Academy Award for Best Director, he directed that, and he was nominated for it. Even though he didn't win it, he would win it later on. He won it twice actually. One for Brokeback Mountain, and the second for Life of Pi. So you have Ang Lee and Mr. Iñárritu, the Mexican director who directed The Revenant, and the year before that Birdman, which won Best Picture last year. So he won it back to back. So you have two directors of color who won 2 Oscars for directing. So it's not totally racist, not like, it's not Jim Crow racist, but it's really hard. The doors are open, but it's just hard to leave a crack open. You could open them, but you have to push them really, 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 really hard, And the reason why I'm saying is that when Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon had those 10 nominations, everybody, and especially in the Asian community, were concerned, like, I really can't say because I'm not from the community, but I'm quite sure there were some people who were concerned as hey, y'all not gonna do us like y'all did the black community, African American community, when Color Purple was nominated, But then again though, you had some ignorant folks who boycotted the Color Purple because they didn't like how the male characters, Harpo and Mister, were treated or at least represented in the movie. And guess what? It happened. But then again, you can't blame Steven Spielberg. If you're going to blame Steven Spielberg, blame Alice Walker too, because she was the author. The Color Purple, the film, would have existed had it not been for Color Purple, the novel. Simple and plain. You just can't just blame just this one person. And Steven Spielberg's not a person who's known for making sorry films, crappy films, He doesn't make, junk films. He makes masterpieces. I mean, come on. You've seen Jaws or E.T., the Extraterrestrial, Close Encounters, the Indiana Jones movies, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan. I mean, just to name a few. The thing is, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon won 4 out of those 10 nominations. It won 4 Oscars. And then also Benicio del Toro, a Latino actor, he won Best Supporting Actor for Traffic. So you had Asians and Latinos winning Oscars that year, the year before Halle and Denzel won. So I know I could not have been the only brother that was watching it that year and saying, hey, black folks better win next year. You know, I'm just saying, and black folks did win next year. Although some people are kind of upset that they're glad that they won, they just didn't like the roles that they won them for. But you know, I can understand to an extent. I mean, let's talk about Denzel first. I mean, Denzel, we know he's a brilliant actor. He's probably one of the greatest actors, not just black actors, but one of the greatest living actors, period. I mean, he's right up there with Jack Nicholson, Tom Hanks. He's right up there. If you're talking about one of the best living American actors, I mean, he's up there. I mean, he's right up there. Jack Nicholson, Tom Hanks, Al Pacino, Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington, you know, Robert De Niro. They're right up there. They're the best of the best. Cream of the crop. Okay? Right up there. He doesn't make any junk films either. Denzel doesn't make any he doesn't give sorry performances. Should he receive the Oscar for The Hurricane? Yes. Should he receive the Oscar for Malcolm X? Absolutely. Unfortunately, he's not the only best actor in Hollywood. I mean, there's a lot of talented people there who deservedly so deserve nominations too. Like, I mean, that's the reason why Al Pacino beat him in won that year for Sin of a Woman.